On a late Friday night, having listened to live music with friends, Mickey Shunick planned on riding her bike home.
It's a small town. We grew up there. It seemed really safe.
But Mickey Shunick vanished.
From the start, I believe you could tell that this was an extraordinary circumstance.
A beautiful girl, gone without a trace.
The year 2012 would engrave itself into the records of Lafayette and the entire state of Louisiana as a time of sorrow, shock, and profound horror. It all started on that ominous night of May 19th, when a young woman set out on her bicycle, never to be seen alive again. The unsettling saga that ensued captivated people far and wide, and the heart-wrenching conclusion to this tale is something we are about to unfold. Meet Mickey Shunick, or as she was affectionately known, Mickey. At the tender age of 21, she shared her life with her family in the picturesque location of Lafayette, Louisiana. Mickey had a passion for cycling. It was her preferred mode of transport through life. An energetic young woman in the prime of her life, Mickey pursued her studies as an anthropology senior at the University of Louisiana.
Lafayette's a small town. You can get anywhere in that city on a bike in 20 or 30 minutes.
Which is why, on a late Friday night back in May of 2012, having listened to live music with friends, Mickey planned on riding her bike home.
We grew up there. It seemed really safe.
Mickey's brother's high school graduation was just hours away. But before calling it a night, she decided to stop off at the home of her friend, Brandon Wilson.
The night of May 18th, 2012, holds the key to our story. At approximately 10:15 p.m., Mickey ventured out with a group of friends, seeking to celebrate an upcoming milestone. Their destination was a Lafayette bar that echoed with live music for around 2.5 hours. Mickey's birthday was just around the corner, and the group had every intention of making the most of the night. After saying their goodbyes at the bar, Mickey and her close friend Brandon Wilson embarked on a journey back to his residence via their trusty bicycles. Their quest for late-night munchies led them on a drive in Brandon's car to the Taco Bell drive-thru, and soon they were back at Brandon's place, savoring their meal. The night wore on, and while more friends contemplated joining the gathering, it was getting late. Mickey had her brother's graduation to attend the next day, a celebration she refused to miss. Around 1:45 a.m., she decided to embark on the short journey back home. Little did she know that this seemingly routine trip would end in heartbreak. The next morning, Mickey's mother, Nancy Ann Rowe, and the rest of her family were shocked to not find her at home getting ready for the graduation. Texts remained unanswered. Calls endlessly found their way to voicemail, and Mickey was conspicuously missing from her morning routine. It was a far cry from her typical behavior, leaving her family in a state of bewildered concern. Hope persisted that perhaps an unforeseen circumstance had held her up somewhere, or that she had spent the night at a friend's. The family held their collective breath, praying that Mickey would miraculously reappear in time for her brother's graduation. But as the minutes ticked away and the ceremony commenced, their hearts sank. Mickey was still nowhere to be seen, her absence palpable. The graduation venue, a place where she should have been reveling in her brother's achievements, was instead marked by her profound absence. The situation grew increasingly grim, with alarm bells ringing loudly in the hearts of Mickey's family. Their mounting worry drove concerned relatives into a frantic search for her. The police were urgently contacted to report her as a missing person. The Lafayette Police Department swiftly deployed detectives to lead the search effort. Their mission was to uncover any fragments of evidence that might cast light on Mickey's whereabouts. The events of the fateful night began to unravel, with CCTV footage from the bar offering vital insights into her departure.
Over the past 82 days, Mickey Shunick has become a household name and a face familiar to everyone in Acadiana.
There's so many neighborhoods around that path.
Thousands joined the cause to bring Mickey home. In the early days, there were searches by land and by water. Among those looking for clues were family, friends, and complete strangers.
An exhaustive search operation unfolded, enlisting the efforts of both investigators and the local community. Yet this extensive undertaking shockingly bore no fruit. Mickey's phone, purse, and even her beloved bicycle had seemingly vanished into thin air.
You can tell us if there was a mistake. And that segued into, you loved her, didn't you? I mean, you know, pretty girl, loved you, you spurned her. You know, maybe you should just let us know now.
Wilson insisted he had nothing to do with his good friend's disappearance.
I remember yelling that repeatedly. No, no, we were just friends. No, I didn't do anything to her. No, that was the last time I saw her, is unrelenting.
You guys took this pretty seriously.
Absolutely.
Brettley Wilson, the last known individual to have seen her, naturally became a person of interest. Under the detective's relentless scrutiny, he consistently maintained the narrative that Mickey had left his home that night to undertake her customary bicycle journey, a routine she had undertaken countless times before. In a quest to shed light on the enigmatic disappearance, detectives delved into the web of CCTV footage, hoping to uncover any trace of her along her habitual cycling route. Their efforts would soon produce invaluable evidence, offering a vital breakthrough in the quest to unveil the mystery of Mickey's vanishing.
But there was something else detectives saw on that security video, something much more ominous. Here, just after Mickey cycles out of frame, someone in a white pickup truck drives into frame, following Mickey at a comfortably close distance. Now, for the first time, police felt they had evidence. Someone else was involved.
As the mysterious vanishing of Mickey unfolded, the relentless detectives turned to surveillance footage for clues. Multiple cameras along her route revealed a chilling sequence of events, eventually absolving Brettley of suspicion. The pieces of her journey started to align as investigators traced her path. The cameras documented her cycling down Versailles Boulevard and St. Landry Street, heading towards St. John Street. A critical moment was captured when she crossed University Avenue. However, the trail grew cold, and the final recorded image of Mickey surfaced at 1:48 a.m. on St. Landry Street.
After days of watching, the police finally got their first big lead. One of the cameras had picked up an image of a female cycling alone down a dark street. They confidently confirmed it was the missing Mickey, and any suspicions they had surrounding her friend Brettley quickly disappeared. Continuing to follow what would have been her route home, they managed to pick up more footage of her from several cameras. The clearest image so far was her passing a gas station several minutes later. Unbeknownst to them at the time, this particular image would become vital in the hunt for Mickey.
Detectives checked the next video where Mickey should have cycled, but devastatingly, she was nowhere to be found on the footage. The looming question that gripped everyone's mind: where could she have gone? With growing desperation, detectives combed through the CCTV footage once more, hoping to catch a glimpse of Mickey or unearth any subtle clues. In the shroud of the late night, Mickey was not alone.
But there was something else detectives saw on that security video, something much more ominous. Here, just after Mickey cycles out of frame, someone in a white pickup truck drives into frame, following Mickey at an uncomfortably close distance. Now, for the first time, police felt they had evidence.
A suspicious white pickup truck was ominously shadowing her. The surveillance revealed that a white Chevrolet Z71 truck had made a deliberate turn to follow Mickey's path. This critical discovery prompted law enforcement to launch an urgent appeal for information regarding the eerie pickup truck. However, more pivotal information was on the horizon. On May 27th, just over a week after Mickey's disappearance, two fishermen made a harrowing discovery. They found a bicycle under a bridge at Whiskey Bay on the Atchafalaya River, a staggering 20 miles from the last place she was seen. The fishermen promptly alerted the police about their finding, and when family members were contacted to identify the bike, there was no doubt. It was Mickey's black and gold Schwinn bike.
No, it's not.
Police had hard physical evidence with which to build a theory of the crime. What could you tell from looking at the bicycle?
That there was significant damage to the back tire. It looked like it had been impacted.
Somebody had rammed her.
That's what it looked like.
Disturbingly, the bike frame bore damage consistent with a collision with a vehicle, adding a sinister layer to this already perplexing missing persons case. Following the discovery of the bike, investigators initiated an extensive grid search of the area where it was found, encompassing the Atchafalaya River and its surroundings. Despite their efforts, the search yielded no body and no traces of the missing young woman. As media coverage continued to swell around the case, a growing number of tips and leads began pouring in from concerned members of the public. Among them was a lead that would prove to be the turning point detectives had been yearning for. Just a few days after the bicycle's discovery, a woman contacted the police, revealing that her fiancé owned a white Chevrolet pickup truck, precisely the one they had been searching for. However, her account didn't end there. She went on to detail how her fiancé had returned home on May 19th, suffering from injuries. According to her recollection, he explained that he had been involved in a stabbing incident after being robbed at a gas station in New Orleans. The man in question was identified as 33-year-old Brandon Lavergne. He had reportedly disposed of his blood-stained shirt and refrained from using his truck since the incident. Adding to the intrigue, he had checked into a New Orleans hospital for knife wounds.
Brandon Lavergne was a 33-year-old mechanic who worked on oil rigs just offshore. Tell me what the two tips said.
The first tip that came in was from an acquaintance that had close knowledge of him that said that he was acting suspiciously.
The tipster also said that on the weekend Mickey went missing, Lavergne traveled to New Orleans and came back with some serious stab wounds.
But the leads related to Lavergne didn't stop there. Another tipster came forward, informing the police that Lavergne had tried to purchase a truck from her, claiming that his own had been stolen. She recalled that his arm was bandaged at the time of their conversation. The web of suspicion grew even more tangled when employees at a John R. Young Chevy dealership in Eunice reached out to the authorities on June 21st. Lavergne had strangely contacted them, seeking a complete replacement of the leather interior of his truck. Oddly, having received a quote for the service, he never followed up. With these mounting leads and circumstantial evidence, detectives couldn't help but grow increasingly suspicious. The pressing question remained, did they have enough to take the next step and apprehend Lavergne? If you enjoyed this video, then please show your support for this channel by subscribing to the channel or leaving a comment with your thoughts on this video.